Yo guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another video. I know we are extremely late on this. The draft is Thursday and we're recording this on a Tuesday afternoon. But Zach and I have our mock draft. Now the way it's going to work is we're basically going to be picking for teams. So we're going to go back and forth. I'm going to start with the first pick. Then Zach's going to give the second pick, third, fourth, and you guys get the point. So with the first overall pick, I am the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I am going to select Trevor Lawrence. I don't think there's much question here, Zach. Trevor Lawrence is the guy for Urban Meyer. So I have Trevor Lawrence going number one.
Yeah, for number two, I'm with the Jets. Obviously, kind of early on, it seemed like there was speculation on who they're going to go with. But after pro days and everything like that, it's been pretty obvious Zach Wilson is going to be a New York Jet.
There you go. Zach Wilson, number two overall. This is the pick that will keep me up at night. And I have said different answers in different videos. And for some reason, I've changed my answer from yesterday. I'm actually going to go with Mac Jones of Alabama. As one coach, a QB prospect, told me this spring, Jones has elite NFL traits. He's a natural thrower and is technically very sound, very accurate, and throws a catchable ball. He's not quite as athletic as the Justin Fields or the Trey Lance. But for some reason, I just think San Francisco is going to end up with the Crimson Tide quarterback.
So with that, I had the Falcons at 4. The Falcons, I have them actually taking Kyle Pitts.
Ooh, I like it.
The Falcons, I mean, obviously they can either keep the pick and go Pitts and have a very solid option when it comes to an offense and also somewhat of a blocker. And so that's why I think they'll go with Kyle Pitts, because they also have rumors of moving on from Julio.
There you go. Kyle Pitts at number 4. Arguably the most talented player in all of the draft, in Mr. Kyle Pitts. At number 5, in what my opinion is another very, very, very controversial pick, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going against what I said last week as well, Zach. I keep flipping, and I'm going with Jamar Chase. I think the chemistry that him and Joe Burrow showed, I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the difference making for the general management of the Cincinnati Bengals. Maybe Joe Burrow has a little say in here. Obviously, coming off the torn ACL, he needs protection. I might see them going with Penny, but at the end of the day, I think they are going to go with Jamar Chase. Also, I think the drop off at tackle is less than finding yourself a quality wide receiver. I think there's 3 really, really good wide receivers, and after that, it drops off a bit. So I'm going to go with Jamar Chase at number 5.
So I actually was expecting Jamar Chase going at 5. And for that reason is why I had the Dolphins taking this guy. I have him taking Devontae Smith.
Ooh, okay. Heisman Trophy winner?
Heisman Trophy winner, Alabama kid. And he was a great playmaker. And so I knew that if Jamar Chase is there, then I think Chase needs to be the first wide receiver. But that's why I had the Dolphins taking Devontae Smith.
Okay. So here's my thing, Zach. You're leaving me in another tough situation with Detroit at number 7. Tyler Decker is a solid on the left side, but Tyrell Crosby was 66th ranked as a tackle. So they're going to look to upgrade that position. And I think I have to go with Penny as much as I want to say Jalen Waddle. I think the Lions are going to take probably one of the best tackle prospects that we've seen in a long time, with Penny at number 7.
For the Panthers pick, I actually had Penny originally, but these 2 picks, the 7th, 8, were interchangeable for me. So it was an easy choice for me to go with Micah Parsons once you took Penny. The Panthers need to solidify that linebacker. I think Micah is such a great player. I saw him.
So interesting, Zach. No quarterback there.
No,
for the Panthers.
Zach,
sorry to cut you off there. One thing I think we need to mention, we probably should have said this at the beginning. We're not doing trades. That's one of those picks that is up in the air, could potentially be traded, but we are not doing trades. Anyways, go ahead, Zach.
It's just, I feel like Sam Darnold is going to be kind of their guy for this year. See how he does, see what they could do. And so that's why I think they're going to go and solidify that defense.
Okay. So you have left me with the 9th overall pick in the Denver Broncos. And I didn't think Justin Fields was going to be here, but he is. And I'm going to take Fields over Trey Lance. If Trey Lance gets taken over Justin Fields, I don't even know anymore. I mean, what more is there to say? Like I said in our video a couple days ago, all you have to do is watch that Clemson game in the college football playoff. I'm taking Justin Fields with the 9th overall pick.
All right. So Cowboys 10 spot. Like you said, this pick is kind of up in the air. People could trade up for it. Nobody really knows exactly what the Cowboys are gonna go with. But for me personally, I think the Cowboys are gonna go on that defensive side, and they're going to go with Patrick Surtain. And it's a corner, very solid player, and I feel like that the Cowboys need another corner to solidify that defense.
I like it, Zach. So with the Giants and number 11, you've taken my first two choices. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had Micah and then I had Devontae Smith. But there is still a wide receiver that has not been taken, and that is Mr. Jalen Waddle. I know they just got Kenny Golladay, but I think the Giants are going to want to give some more weapons on offense. Saquon comes back this year. For some reason, I think they're going to go offense here, and I see them taking Jalen Waddle.
And that's actually who, if I had that pick, that's who I would have taken with this draft so far. I would have had Waddle going. For the Eagles at 12, it's kind of up in the air about this one, but okay. I feel like that this would be the right move for the Eagles. You have a young quarterback. You need protection for that quarterback. So I'm going with Christian Darrisaw, the offensive lineman. I feel like that it was either between him or Rashawn Slater, and I just feel like, me personally, I like Christian just a little bit better because it was more a fact that I have seen Rashawn, and I've seen him get beat pretty easily sometimes. So that's why I'm going with Christian.
Yeah. I think it's also important to mention that Rashawn Slater didn't play in 2020. So it's actually funny that we're mentioning him because thankfully you did not take him, and I have him at 13 going to the Chargers. You want to protect your young quarterback. Justin Herbert is the man now in Los Angeles, and I think Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern, he's very athletic. He could go higher, he could go lower. The Chargers have 32-year-old Brian Beluga right now and will likely, look to move on from Trey Pipkins, excuse me. So a long-term solution will be Rashawn Slater for the Los Angeles Chargers.
So with the 14th pick in the Minnesota Vikings, this is a tough one because obviously as Bear fans, we don't want to hear this. Mm-hmm. But I think the Vikings are going to take, in my eyes, one of the better defensive players in Gregory Rousseau. And I've liked this kid's game. He has played very well on the defensive side for all the time that I've seen him. And I think that with the Minnesota team and a pretty solid defense, honestly, he'll excel in that defensive scheme.
Zach, if Bill Belichick does not have to trade up and he can grab Trey Lance at number 15th overall, he's a happy man. All the big three wide receivers are off the board. Trey Lance is still there, and I think the New England Patriots are going to take him. Sit a year behind Cam Newton, learn from the great Bill Belichick, and we'll see what happens there. So I have Trey Lance at number 15 to the New England Patriots.
So for 16, the Arizona Cardinals. I have this. The Arizona Cardinals have obviously made a decent amount of moves. They've had some up and down and stuff.
Yep.
And I actually have them taking a defensive player. And I have him taking, solidifying that corner position and taking Caleb Farley. And a lot of people have questioned Caleb as of late, but I just think he's too good of a player to keep questioning. And so that's why I have the Cardinals taking him at 16.
Multiple surgeries, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason he's dropping? Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if he does fall out the first round or if he stays. Because like you said, very, very, very talented player. Okay, at 17, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. Defense. I think it's kind of a toss-up for me, but I'm going to go with J.C. Horn here for the Raiders. I know they drafted a corner in the first round of last year's draft, but if you watch them play on tape, they need all the defense help they can get. So I have them drafting J.C. Horn.
So that actually plays out. I thought you were going to go a different direction with that pick. With the Dolphins pick, I was considering here either going with a lineman or another offensive threat. And I thought to myself, who would go great with Devontae Smith? Huh? And I said, why not Brain? Probably a good friend of his, Najee Harris, back into Miami. Najee Harris played very well for Alabama.
The Washington football team, the left tackle position, allowed 38 sacks/pressures for Washington for last year for the football team. They have Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's not exactly the most mobile quarterback in the world. And for that reason, I think they're going to go with, I'm going to say Elijah Vera Tucker, the guard tackle at USC. I could also see maybe somebody else, but I ended up on him. So I have them drafting an offensive lineman with the 19th overall pick. This is the one, Zach. This is the one I'm excited to hear.
So thankfully, you went with Elijah. I did not have the Bears taking Elijah. I was considering Elijah. I have the Bears taking Tavion Jenkins, the lineman.
I like that.
I mean, obviously the Bears, if we would have been able to get a wide receiver, which obviously there is a decent wide receiver in Elijah Moore, but I just feel like that the Bears are going to go out and get a lineman. And so that's why I have him taking Tavion Jenkins.
With the 21st overall pick, I have the Indianapolis Colts selecting fellow Longhorn offensive tackle Sam Cosmi. Again, like we said, Colts, Anthony Costanzo retired. They need to bolster that offensive line, and that is who I think they're going to pick.
So with the 22nd pick, there's a couple options I could go here with the Titans now. I could go with defense, or somebody I really like on defense, but I think that the Titans need to solidify an offensive threat to go with. So I'm going to go with somewhat of a surprise wide receiver, I feel like, but I actually like him. Elijah Moore is who I'm going with for the Titans at 22.
I like it a lot. Zach, with the 23rd overall pick, the Jets, I believe, was that from the Jamal Adams trade? I feel like probably. I have them selecting Kwity Paye. I think it's one of those things where if you watch a Jets game, you know they need pressure for the quarterback. You know, the defense, they're going to get themselves Zach Wilson, and helping solidify that defense is only going to, you know, allow them to, we'll see. I'm not saying that Zach Wilson's going to go out and take them to playoffs, but I definitely think they're going to be a lot better going forward.
So the fact that you went Paye there, I originally had a plan to go with a defensive tackle here, but I am actually, for the Steelers, going to take somebody else that I actually had higher up that is still available. Azeez Ujulari. I probably botched it, but I like this kid's game. He's probably an underrated guy. I just feel like that he could produce very well in the right offensive scheme, and I think the Steelers will be able to help elevate his game. Okay,
I like it. With the 25th overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are selecting yet again, and I have them taking Carlos Basham Jr., may have just messed it up, out of Wake Forest, an edge. Jacksonville, they're going to get themselves their quarterback. Now let's go make the defense. Now let's go kind of rebuild the defense after what's been, you know, a rough few years for Jags fans.
So I am going to actually go with the Browns at 26. I just feel like they can either go ahead and solidify that defense, or I think what they're going to end up doing here is actually going to go with a offensive lineman. And I have them taking Alex Leatherwood, that offensive lineman from Alabama.
Very nice.
And I just feel like that's going to be not a safer option, but I mean, Baker's going to get that little bit of more protection for him and everything like that.
At number 27, the Baltimore Ravens have 2 late first-round picks, and I think they're going to use their first pick on a wide receiver in Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota. Give Lamar Jackson a few more weapons. They did just deal, you know, an offensive lineman to the Chiefs, and I assume maybe they could look to upgrade there. But like we said, we've taken so many offensive linemen. I'm going to go Bateman at number 27 to the Ravens.
So 28, the New Orleans Saints, I could see him going multiple different ways with this, but I just feel like that the best option for them is to go with Greg Newsome, the corner. I feel like they just need to solidify that defense. They just need some clarity on the defensive side of the ball right now.
Yeah, I get you. And this pick hurts me. It's the Green Bay Packers, and it's number 29 overall. And I have the Packers going with Rondale Moore out of Purdue. I know the Packers drafting a skilled positional offensive player in the first round seems highly unlikely, but Aaron Rodgers is not getting any younger, And this is a team that is so close to winning it all. And I think somebody like Rondell Moore is going to, unfortunately, probably put them over the edge.
So for this one, I could see the Bills going with one way or the other. And I could see the Bills going with either offensive tackle or a wide receiver. And I have them going ultimately with offensive tackle Liam Eichenberg from Notre Dame. And just to give Josh Allen that little bit more protection. And that's why I'm going with Eichenberg.
So, Zach, this one's kind of my shot in the dark, and I don't probably think this is going to happen. But I have the Ravens yet again. We already took a wide receiver, so we're not going to take a wide receiver. We're actually going to go with the offensive line, and we're going to go with Landon Dickerson out of Alabama. Probably the riskiest pick in all the draft, and the Ravens are notorious tough medical graders. And the thing is, though, Dickerson, when healthy, is maybe one of the most skilled players in all of college football. I don't know if it's going to happen. He's an incredible leader, led the best team in college football. He played on a torn ACL. Again, the problem is just injuries. I believe at one point he played every single position on the offensive line, which is just insane. So yeah, that's kind of my shot in the dark right there.
So the fact that you went there, I would have thought you were going to go wide receiver. And I am going to actually go ahead and take the receiver that I was expecting the Ravens to take. I'm going with Terrace Marshall Jr. for Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Tampa Bay just gets a little bit more scary on the offensive side to get to solidify another wide receiver. And I think that's where they should go. It should be just a no-brainer at that point. He's one of the better wide receivers in my eyes as well, too.
There you go, guys. There's our mock draft. Again, I'm sure it's not exactly how we do it, but we wanted to go back and forth and make it a little bit more fun. Make sure you guys do check out Zach. He does stream over on Twitch. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? What are your picks? Again, the draft is Thursday. I'm sorry this video came out so late. We just kind of fell behind in terms of time. Make sure you do drop a like. Make sure you guys do drop a subscription. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.